What is going on, you guys? It is time to do another game review. Ooh. I still don't know. I really don't. See, guys. I have my hat on. I didn't get pissed and threw it on the ground. I'm fine. I'm crazy. I'm not fine. I'm upset. Let me just record for you guys. So I'm gonna do a review on Castlevania NES. Okay, all right. Now, let me break it down for you guys. Castlevania. My mind went blank. Castlevania is a game for the NES. It was made in the 1980s. Really old, pretty ancient when my grandpa was born. He's not my grandpa, he's my dad, but he's not, but he's like my sister, and he's my uncle. You know, it was made then, right? So, the game is Simon Belmont is his name. He was assigned a task to kill Dracula because he is causing such havoc to the city. He is such a great soldier, warrior. He has a whip. He's really good at fighting. Everyone was like, "You're our only hope." But his family, the Belmont family, everyone was so afraid of them because they thought them too were witches or Dracula because they're so good at fighting and nobody else has ever seen that before. But they say, if you kill Dracula, not only will we not kill your family because, they think they're witches, Dracula will be dead, and then we'll be in peace again. And then it's like, if you kill Dracula, it's like you're welcome, like you're not gonna give me a hug, or you're just gonna not kill me, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's so dumb. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So he has to kill them. Dracula's enemies and stuff. He also has bats. He has bosses you have to go through. Basically, I'm talking about the first one, by the way, or the third one, the fourth one. They're all basically the same. You start out, all right, and you have a tiny little whip. It's like a little straw, kind of. It's like really weak. It's like, you can't kill anyone with that. I mean, you could hurt someone if you flick them with it, but then they'll just cry. You won't kill them. And it's not. So you hit the candles. You start out. You see these fire candles things. I don't know how to describe it. I'm sorry. You hit with the whip, and they drop various stuff. So say in the beginning, I know for a fact if you hit it, it drops you a whip, which is a stronger. It's not like a little stick. It's like a whip, but it's not. It's just a little, but it's strong. You go like da da. Yeah, and you're happy. And then you go by, you hit it, and you get hearts. And hearts, I'll get into detail in a sec. But then you get another whip, which is the longer, strong whip. So those are the only two that you have to worry about getting when you have the small whip in the beginning. So you go by, you get all these hearts. You don't know what the hearts are. You're like, what are you doing? I'm alive. I don't need any hearts. I'm like the Grinch. I'm mad. I don't need any more. You just want to get Dracula. You don't really care, right? So then, right when you see this entrance into the building, into the Dracula's castle, and there's one fire before it, and then you hit it, and it drops this little sharp thing. It looks like a sword, like a swordfish's nose. It's just very sharp, and it's like a bluish kind of silver, and it's a dagger. What? Not only do you get to whip someone, you get to throw it, stab it, make them bleed. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had anything to eat, so better have a Snickers. Alright, so yeah, you drop a dagger, and those hearts, the purpose of the hearts is basically so you could throw the daggers at them. So say you have 8 hearts, right? You're able to throw the weapon that you got, the dagger. You're able to throw 8 daggers at it. So hearts basically means how many times you could use the weapon. So you go through, you're getting hearts. Once in a while, instead of dropping a little heart, you always get everything, in my opinion. Don't speed run it. I mean, if you think you're that good, go ahead. But you hit out all the hearts, and you hit all the candles, and once in a while, you'll get a big heart, and it'll give you 5 worth, 5 little hearts worth, and you could stab. And then sometimes if you break them, you get enemies, you whip them and stuff. You just have to go up the stairs. and you basically have to go through everything and just try your best not to fall into any crevices, not to get hit, because if you get hit enough, you'll die, and you only have 3 lives. Very hard game. So, once in a while, an enemy, if you hit them, and the enemies just or like skeletons. They throw bones at you. They sometimes they have swords. They're like different depending on how hard what level you've gotten to. There's bats. There's fish that jump out of the water, because there's a part when there's like a bridge, except it's broken, so you have to jump across, and there's fish that jump up and onto the platforms, and they spit like these little fireballs because their breath is hot. So yeah, you have to try not to die. You have the best weapon. There's like 5 different weapons. There's an axe, which takes, I think, 1 or 2 hearts instead of just 1, basically, that throws it, but you have to be a certain amount of distance away. Then the third one is the clock, which I think takes about like maybe 5 hearts worth, and it just freezes everybody, so you could just hit them and just kind of decapitate them and everything. The fourth one, I would say, is the holy water, which you throw at them. Still have to, well, it's kind of a really short distance. It uses 1 heart, but it basically starts fire. It not only does it hurt them, it stuns them in place. And the holy water only lasts about maybe 5 seconds. Very useful. And I think the 5th weapon would have to be the... What is it? Help me! Come on! It's called the boomerang. It's like an X shape. You throw it, you can hit an enemy, and then it comes back to you, so it's like a double hit. I think the crosses, or what am I saying? The boomerangs take about maybe 3 or 4, because I am so good at gaming and everything else in life. So you basically have to go by, hit the candles, you go up the stairs, you beat the enemies, and then there's always a boss. And each weapon that you have has to do with how you kill the boss. Well, not always, but, like, for example, the first boss is a bat. A ginormous, ugly, gross bat. Well, it's pixelated. And you could either choose, you have the clock right before you get to him, but then if you hit a candle, it drops you the best one. It drops you an axe, which the axe really does damage on it. You just throw it, charges at you, you kind of duck him, and then you throw the axes and you beat him. You have to get better with skills and stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm ducking. Yeah. You have to get better. And once in a while, there's hidden blocks, like you see blocks around, sometimes if you hit it in a certain place, like it's kind of a secret, if you're not too good on health, or you have at least 1 bar of health missing, you see something called, it looks like a gross heart or something. It's food, which basically refills your health. So you kill the bat, you're ready for the next stage, and you'll notice that the bosses and the enemies get progressively difficult. And then you get new items. Well, it was in the last one, but you get an item, like, it looks like a little mug, like one of those ancient, like, vases, except it has, like, the handles, like, and it's, like, all over the place, and you pour it. If you get that, it makes you temporarily invisible. Or invincible, if you may ask. Yeah, so for, like, maybe 5 seconds, it just makes you you can't get hit, and you just hit everyone. And and the last boss, I'll tell you, it's so hard. Like, the last stage, not only do you start out fighting the bat, like, it's not even a boss. Like, you have to fight the bat at the beginning of the game, like, as the boss. But to be at the beginning of the level and just fight the bat as, like, a regular enemy, not that easy. And try not to fall 100 feet and die. That's not easy. You know, like, you don't want to die, so you just want to get past. You try your hardest. It's very difficult. Then you see in the other levels, they're kind of split up, but you see these storks, and they're dropping like these little people. They're called flea men. They're like hunched over like this, and they jump around, and you have to just be careful not to get hit. And once you get to the end, to Dracula, I don't know, you have to you get a cross right before you start. Now, this is your opinion. Okay, this is your choice. Right when you start, you can either have the enemy have the weapon you have, but if you die, you can't get anything. That's taken away from you. Right when you start, they give you an option. Well, right, the candle right before you go, there's a couple of them with hearts and stuff. But if you hit one of the candles before you go in, it does drop a boomerang. So you can either choose how to approach him with, because Dracula, I would say you're about, maybe Belmont is like maybe 5'8". He's not that tall, but it's so funny because you go and you see and you hear I'm the worst dancer. You hear that music, and you see a coffin, and the coffin rises, and then you see Dracula. And say you're right here, you see Dracula coming like this. He's like this tall. He's like 7. He's like 6'10". It's so funny. Basically, what you have to do is he goes like this. Oh, by the way, just to tell you, I'm wearing the Zelda shirt again. Woo! He rises up, and what he does is he takes his cloak. He's wearing a cloak, and he goes like this, and he unfolds his cloak, thinking he's gonna flash you, but he doesn't. He throws 3 fireballs at you, and it just gets bigger, like it's really small, and then it spreads. You have to hit his head. You can't hit his body. It doesn't work. It makes like a little dink sound when you do it. It doesn't help. So you hit his head. You keep hitting him. Try not to get hit. Hit it, and he throws it. You could whip the fire and he randomly appears in the screen. So he could appear like right on you, and then you have to move out of the way. And once you beat him, basically on the last try, when you hit him, one little health at a time gets lowered. So it's like, ugh. That's the purpose of the boomerang. Are you with me? Okay, good. You could hit him, like, at the end of the screen. Once you're towards the end, you hit him with the boomerang, it goes, ch, and then it goes, ch. So it hits him twice, and you could hit him with the whip, so it'll be, like, 3 times. And then once you beat him, his head flies off. The last health, you hit his head, his neck just goes, and his head just, like his head flies off. Then all of a sudden, the cloak kind of falls, and then all of a sudden, you see a dragon come out, which shoots fire, which basically means he holds maybe the size of my whole room in his cloak. I don't know how that's possible, but gotta love Dracula. Well, you gotta kill him, but he spits fire. He's giant. He's like a dragon. He has big claws. He has big, fireballs. Didn't know what I was gonna say there. He shoots it at you, and he jumps up, and basically, at the very end of the stage, because you start out and you go this way for you guys, there's a candle, and you hit it, and there's a holy water. And holy water is probably the best thing to beat the dragon, because you could, stun him in place with the holy water to keep throwing it and keep jumping and hitting him. But you have to be smart about it, because if you use too many of your hearts, when you use the boomerang on Dracula, you won't be able to do it. So, my luck, practice makes perfect. Have fun, guys. I really love the game. Comment to me if you want me to give you any tips or anything. I don't know. I'm going to tell you guys right now so you're excited. I'm doing a Draw My Life next week. Or Thursday. It's not next week. I want to put the videos out for you guys. I'm making my own thumbnails now. Really awesome. I put the links in the description. Good. And people help me with that. I'm not the best at links and stuff. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat's all in the description. Clickable now. Woo! Subscribe to Jack Russo. Ask me questions for Q&A Monday. If you don't ask enough, I will come up with my own questions no matter what. I'm going to post 3 videos a day, maybe 4 if I'm feeling good. I'm always feeling good. Woo! Because we're talking about video games. I love you guys so much. I really do. Forgot to show you guys the game before I left. Castlevania, and then you start out the game. See? Do, and he's just staring in the... See if I can play backwards. See this fire? The fire? You hit them. I can't really hit them with the whip, but you hit them. Okay. So, you go like this. See the dagger up there? Once you get enough hearts, I think I have 5 hearts. Did I even hit it? Oh, you start out with 5. Forgot. You're able to throw the daggers. I want to show you. It's very fun. I encourage you to play. I really do. I'm not even kidding about that. No sponsor, but I hope Nintendo sponsors me. I really do. I love Nintendo. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in my other videos.